Welcome to Life It with DVD. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Today, I wanted to talk about having no identity. And this is something that is important to me. Not in the sense that I don't think I have an identity, but it's more of the way of how you can approach life. Once again, it's just a certain perspective shift, a different way to kind of look at how you navigate life and approach certain challenges that might pop up, right? Um, it's interesting that I that I'm doing this video because I thought I was going to do something else, and then this popped up as being more important. Um, I it's interesting because if you look out at the world, and this is something that I have struggled with for a long time. It seems that people just know what they're doing, right? They feel certain of the profession they're in, who they are. Um, it's like they like to identify with certain trends or themes or professions or hobbies, and it's like these things come to define people, and and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having an identity, but I think in the past I've looked out, at these people that have an identity, that they're certain of who they are, right? They have a direction that they're going, and I have, you know, admired that, maybe even been jealous of that to a degree, because when I look at my own life, there there is nothing that is set in stone or defined as far as the things that drive me forward, as far as the direction. Now there are things, right? There are certain things, but it feels way more open and kind of dynamic than for a lot of people out there. And I mean, I could even get into this into a human design video. Let me know if you would like to hear more about that. In human design, just briefly, some people have a defined G center, it's called, which is about identity, love, and direction, and other people do not. Mine is open, right? So I do not have a defined identity, love, or direction, right? I have a lot of things that I love, that I head towards. That it's not always clear. It's not a straight path. There's a lot of today this feels right. Today, tomorrow something else will feel right. Like as far as a specific direction and path, a certain it's like a certain energy will kind of um, just be pursued on a daily basis based on what's going on. Now there could be all sorts of reasons for that, but looking at it just from a smaller point of view, or just a simple point of view, it's like I've admired people that have had that identity, love, and direction, right? That have had that path, and and it's very easy to kind of look at why. Well, when you have a defined identity, when you associate with things, it makes it very easy to focus, on your path, to stay in a specific lane, right? Because then you know what you need to focus on, and there's not as many diversions or detours, and it makes life simpler, right? However, right, as I've gotten older, because I don't have this, this identity, I don't have this G center, um, I've begun to appreciate it more and more. And ultimately, this is where we need to go with all of this, right? Especially from the human design perspective, if you don't have that defined G center, it's undefined. You don't have a specific path, right, it leaves you more open to opportunities in the future, different directions, different things you want to pursue, right? It allows for greater freedom of expression. Um, you're not confined to that identity or the labels that might come with it. And that's kind of a beautiful thing, right? Um, it opens you up to be way more flexible than somebody that has that defined, identity. Because having that identity, I mean, identity can also be associated with the ego as well. Um, in certain ways that you can look at it. And when you have an identity and you're associated with that, you're attached to that, that can lead you to have a bias towards certain things in your life, right? That it might be harder to disassociate yourself and your mind from that activity, from that profession, that direction, that identity. So being able to, and I'm speaking mostly to the people that don't have that defined identity, that defined G center, right? Because the people that do have it defined, right, that's what society promotes, but it's also what they are biologically here for, to have that identity. But for the people that don't, right, like myself, it's been hard to navigate life when you don't have that clear path, when your energy kind of takes you all over the place. But sometimes that's how it's supposed to be, right? That might be completely part of who you are as a person. And that does have its benefits, right? So, in addition to having more freedom and independence, you can, you can connect with people better because you have a better understanding of the interconnectedness of things, because you might have explored that path in the past. So this allows for more empathy, more connection, right? Better understanding. And in regards to how it's associated with ego, like not having a clear identity, not having one, allows you the potential to stay away from ego-driven conflicts, and competition. To focus on things that will promote your own well-being, right? That might help not your own well-being alone, but just also the collective as well. It allows you to see the different perspectives that are possible in any situation when you are allowing yourself to go down these different paths, to not be associated with that label of having an identity. So having no identity, like these are some of the benefits of it, right? But the importance of the awareness of it is that it allows you to break free from your own mind, right? Any limitations that you have created for yourself will begin to fall away if you stop associating with that specific thing. So this is why it's important to be able to have these perspective shifts and be aware of the differences, because if something is holding you back from a path that you think you need to pursue, if it's a label, right, if socially you think that, oh, I can't do this, like this is not me, this isn't my identity, but somewhere deep inside you want to do that, but the bias that's holding you back might be something conditioned, right? Something that's been programmed into your head. This is something that you might want to try this perspective shift on, of I have no identity. Just accepting, right? What if I have no identity? What if I could be free from all of this? What if I had a clean slate, right? Nobody knew me. Nobody had any idea who I was. You didn't even know who you were, right? if you could just start from scratch, right? What would you do? What would you do in this moment? Because that also, when we shift that perspective, it frees us up from the narrative that we tell ourselves of this is who we are. And so many times we have that negative self chatter in our heads based on a narrative which is associated with an identity. So if we can just shift that to just say, what if I start from scratch? What if I, what if I have no awareness, no understanding of who I am, and I just allowed my energy to take me to the things that I wanted to do, right? That felt right in that moment. You know, not, and of course I say these things like things that feel right, because things that can feel right doesn't mean it's always the right thing to do, right? You still need to be doing things that aren't harming other people, right? Not harming yourself as well. So there needs to be, a discretion with this. So, I'd say the rules are don't do nothing that harms other people and do nothing that will harm yourself in that process of following your energy in that path. But ultimately, this is about just being flexible, being resilient, getting into the uncertainty, like I've been talking about a lot here, and being able to pursue a path that you might have talked yourself out of, a long time ago, but there's something inside that keeps kind of churning up that potential path or that potential thread, right? But so many people have like discouraged you from it or turned you away, right? It's important to listen to yourself and to say, is there something here that is there an identity or a label that I'm holding on to here that is, preventing me from going that path and trying it, right? And this is just ultimately, another way to think about, your life, what you're doing, becoming life fit, and how you're going to pursue the goals in this limited time that you have in this existence, right? We have finite time here, and instead of stressing about it and worrying, simple perspective shifts can help to put us back to where we want to go. So yeah, if this is something you're interested in, let me know in the comments. I can do more videos on Myers-Briggs or personality typing as well as human design stuff. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see or hear more about that. Let me know how you think about your own identity. It'd be interesting to hear. So if you enjoyed this, like or subscribe. And until next time, thanks for being here, and talk to you later. Bye.